Hello everyone, I'm your host Ian Otieno. This is the right place because you're going to give you all the insights that you need to get about cars. You're watching the Daily Drive Show on Lookup TV. Keep it locked. So today with us is a Lexus NX 200T. Before we start by looking at the design of this car, I want to tell you something about it. This car shares a platform with the Toyota RAV4 and it was produced first in the year 2015. So this is the 2015 model of the Lexus 200 NXT. So we are going to start by looking at the front profile of this car, and from the front profile here we see that this car has headlights that has projector lamps inside that helps in illuminating when you're driving at night, and on the lower part here we have the indicator lights which are sequential. So from there we come down here and find that this car has fog lamps that come standard with it, and on the lower part over here we also find it comes with a trim that helps you to protect your paint when you do mild off-roading. On the middle part here we have the Lexus badge and we have the vents that are outlined with chrome accents. And so another thing that I noticed with this car is that it has a large hood. This car has a 2-liter engine inside that is turbocharged. We look at that later. So coming to the front profile over here, we find that there are fenders over here. So you find the F-Sport badge over here, which indicates that this car is the F-Sport, the sporty version of this car. And also when you come back here, you find that there is this side mirror that has the indicators here. You find that other cars does not have indicators here. They have the indicator at the fenders here. So when you come to this side, you find that this door is a huge door. It comes all the way down here and it has the wind flaps. As you can see, this helps to protect you if you want to open your windows slightly and there is rain or there is too much wind. So the door of the cars, they pop out when you open them, as you can see. So apart from that, you have the silver trim that runs on the bottom part of the car, and when you move back it is the same. This side is the same like that, and there is this antenna up here that helps for the infotainment system inside. So when we move to the back profile of this car, you find that you're greeted with tail lamps over here that have the red part and the white parts, which every part has a role to play. We also have the NX200T badge over here, the Lexus badge, and the number plate placing of this car is placed strategically according to the design of this car. When you look at this car, you find that this car also has sharp edges, adding onto the look of the car. So you also find there are some sporty lights over here. They are white but they illuminate red when you press onto the brakes, and you also have this windshield that is tinted, and there is the windshield wiper for the back over here. And when I open the boot over here, the boot is automatic, and you find that it has a camera over there, and the boot of this car is 550 liters in terms of space, and it can hold a couple of suitcases when you want to travel with your family. It also has this trim over here that protects the car's paint when you're putting luggage inside this car, and it also has additional space down here. You find that these cars, others come with tire repair kit and others come with a spare wheel. You find that this one comes with a tire compressor that can be used to inflate your tire when you get into a problem. Let's go and look at the engine of this car. Under the hood of the Lexus NX 200T is a 2-liter engine. That is why you find it is called 200T, and it is turbocharged. The fuel tank capacity of this car is around 60 liters and the fuel consumption is around 12 kilometers to the liter. That means that if I come from the CBD, I can make it to Parklands with 1 liter of fuel. So this car has a punch of acceleration when you accelerate it because it has a turbocharger that is mated to the engine. So that is a very good thing because this car will perform well if you're traveling or if you are going to a road that is a highway and you want speed. So with that being said, we can look at the interior of the Lexus NX 200T. When you look at the center console section of this car, you find that it has a screen over here. Cars in the olden days used to have a lot of buttons to control everything, but the center console over here has been decluttered by this screen, and a lot of functionality of configuring the car has been put here. So you find that this screen has been configured in Japanese, and this center one is in English, but there are some measures that you can take to convert the language to English. There's some specialists who do that, and so when you come onto the lower part of this center console, you find that there is these vents over here, and when you go down you find the digital displays for the temperature and all that, and there is this analog clock that looks very nice. It adds on to the touch of luxury of the Lexus NX 200T. So one of the good things that I also like about this car is that the climate control buttons over here were made to be analog, just for practicality. You imagine trying to regulate the temperature and touching the screens. It won't be practical, but if I'm touching these analog buttons over here, I just driving and I touch and control the buttons over here, which is practical. Onto the lower part over here, there is the DVD of the car, where you can insert the discs and control the radio, change the channels and all that. And so on the lower part over here again, there is the shifter of the car, which is very small compared to other Toyota variants. When you compare it to the RAV4, you find that the RAV4 is huge. So this car has a very good looking shifter over here, and there is these dials that you can either put your car to eco mode, you can put it to normal mode or sport mode. This car also comes with driver's assist, it comes with the lane departure assist, it comes with traction control, it comes with 360 degrees view, because this car is a luxury car. And also the handbrake is automatic. It is just a button that you actuate over here, and there's also this pad over here. It's like a mouse. You rest your hand on this part over here and control whatever is on the screen. So apart from that, want to look at the storage areas of this car, and you find that this car has two sets of cup holders over here that can hold your car, and this is how the key of the Lexus looks like. So when you hold this part, you get more storage areas where you can put your phone on this part, and there is USB ports over here and a 12-volt socket inside this car. So there is two USB ports, one AUX port and one 12-volt socket ports in this car. This is where the glove box is. It has one glove box, and the seats of this car are bucket seats. When you look at them, they hold me, they hug me, because you see, when I'm driving fast and making crazy turns, this part has come out like this to cushion me and hold me in place. The seats are fully leather. You find that other cars are like half leather and half Alcantara. You find that the middle part is made of Alcantara and the out part is made of leather, but this car has full leather option. So this car is the F Sport variant, and it comes with all the fully loaded parts, including the sunroof up here. You find that it comes with a sunroof. A sunroof always gives you that feeling of luxury and the feeling of comfort. When you open it, when the car is too hot, you just open the sunroof and the wind blows over your head. And up here you find that the car has the mirrors to look at yourself, and it also have this mirror over here that you can use to look at the back of the car. The view is not that good, but it is practical. This car also comes with a dash cam for the front and also a camera for the back to record whatever events that occur on the road. And so with that being said, we also have lights over here that you just touch. There's no button to actuate them. You just touch and it will illuminate the interior. And so with that being said, we can go and look at the passenger's experience at the back seat of the Lexus NX 200T. So when I get onto the back of the Lexus NX 200T, the first thing that I want to look at is also the headroom that I get and the legroom that I get. The headroom that I get is ample and the legroom that I get is also ample. And when I get to the back of the car, you find that you also notice the touch of luxury inside this car. The windows are quite small, but you have this holder over here to hold when you are in fear of the driver who is driving fast. So with that being said, we have a leather pad over here. There's not much going on over here. We have a tutor over here, and we also have a main speaker down here, and the seats is leather. Another cool feature that I like about this car is that this car comes with dual zone climate control. That means that the passengers at the back here get to enjoy the climate control of the car, and this means that the air will be flowing and the passengers behind here will also be cooled or heated depending on the configurations placed. So when you open this middle section of the seat over here, you get the armrests that can transform into cup holders. If you are going for a road trip with your friends, with your family, you can use these parts to hold your drinks and all that, and you can also place your hands. If you don't want to use this part, you can also carry the third passenger. This car also comes with fixtures under here for the child seat. That means that if you have a kid and you want to travel with them, you just buy a child seat fix here and they'll be catered for. That means that the security, like the safety features of this car is well catered for. And also this car comes with a lot of airbags. It has curtain airbags, it has driver airbag, passenger airbag, and this car's safety is top notch. Let's go and take this car for a drive. So we are in the test drive of the Lexus NX 200T, and what I have to say about this car is that this car is very silent when you drive it, and the car feels very rigid. It feels like almost like a German machine, because you feel like the steering is rigid and everything. So when I'm driving this car, I have that feeling of safety. I feel like the car's system is operating well, everything is communicating well with each other, and the acceleration of this car is good. I don't have to press the accelerator so much for the car to move. This car being a turbocharged car, this means that the car's pickup speed is also fast compared to other cars that does not have the turbocharger. So this is a car that when you want to go to a road trip, it will perform well, and it will also give you comfort. As I'm driving this car, I barely feel the humps on the road. I barely feel things like potholes, because the suspension of this car is very smooth and it is made for comfort. So if this is a car that you are looking for a luxurious car to drive, come over to AutoCAD in Runda. They will give you a very good deal. This car as at now is going for around 5 million Kenyan shillings. If you told them that you watch this car on Daily Drive, they will even give you a better deal of this car. Welcome back to the second segment of the Daily Drive series, and we have another car with us. And this car was first produced in the year 2006, and the car that we have today is a 2015 model, and it has competitors like the Volkswagen Golf and the Ford Focus and the Honda Civic, amongst other cars. So this car that we have to reveal right now is a car that shares an engine with the Toyota Probox, and it has an 1.5 liter engine, a petrol engine that is very, very reliable. So let me show you that car. This car that we have today is the 2015 Toyota Auris, and the Toyota Auris has had a very good reputation for being very reliable and very stylish. For this car is a hatchback, and it has a very good design to it, and it is a design that is appealing to both the young and the old generation. As you watch the Daily Drive series, we are going to dive deep into this car and look at all the good things that come with the 2015 Toyota Auris. Keep it locked. So we are going to start by looking at the design of the Toyota Auris, just the same way as we did with the Lexus NX 200T. So when you look at the front of this car, you find that it also has a surprisingly wide hood, and from this side over here you get that this car has headlights that have projector lamp inside, and apart from it having projector lamps, it also has a daytime running light strip at the top here, and it is lined with chrome accents. As you can see, it also has a badge at the middle here, and when you go down you find the number plate placement, and this car also comes with fog lights, which cars don't come with fog lights as standard. So another thing that I noticed with this car is that it comes with the Modelista trim package, which is a trim that makes the car have an appealing look on the bumpers and on the side profile of the car. So when I move to the side profile of this car, I find that it doesn't have much going on over here. I find that it has the fenders over here, and this car has surprisingly large wheels. The wheels are 18 inches in size, and it has rims, alloy rims that are Modelista. And when you come onto this side, you find that the side mirror has an indicator light as opposed to other cars which have them here at the fender, and there is a security precaution that has been done to this car. You see, it has been fastened by this wire over here, because cars in Nairobi like the Toyota Auris are hotcakes. This car has a tinted window, and it also comes with the flaps over here to protect the car from the wind that can get to the driver's face, and the door also opens as the handle pops out, as you can see over here. It also comes with a keyhole. This is a good thing because you find that other cars, they don't have a keyhole, and when the battery of the car runs dry, somebody will find it very hard to get inside the car. That's a plus for this car. And we also find it comes with a silver trim that runs all the way, and there is this trim that is the Modelista package that runs also all the way from there. This car has a good slope. When you look at it, it is a hatchback and it slopes nicely, and it has a very good design to it. 18-inch alloy wheels on the back over here, and you find that the rear tail lights take it from the side as it runs all the way. See that the tail lights is designed and has two-tone colors. There is the red and the white part. This is the indicator, this is the reversing lights, and this is where the brake light goes. This car also has a boot that is a button that you just press and it releases the latch of the boot. It is not an automatic boot, but the release mechanism is automatic. This car comes with a boot space of 340 liters, and it also has some storage space down here. As you can see, when I lift this part, I get the tools that are used to open the wheels when you get when you get something like a punctured tire or any catastrophe. So you get that this car does not come with a spare wheel. Instead, it comes with a tire repair kit and a compressor that can aid you when you get into a problem. Being in the African market, you find that will not be so practical. So if you get this car, ensure that you have a spare wheel with you. So with that being said, let's go and see what powers up the Toyota Auris. Under the hood of the Toyota Auris, it comes in different configurations. You find that there are cars that are diesel, but others are petrol. So for the petrol engines, you get a 1.2 liter turbo, a 1.3 liter, 1.5 and 1.8 liter hybrid. But for the diesel engine, you get a 1.4 liter, 1.6 liter and a 1.8 liter engine. So this specific car has a 1.5 liter 1NZ FE engine. That engine is the same that is being used in the Toyota Probox. So it makes around 99 to 112 horsepower depending on the trim that you have chosen and depending on the specific package that you have chosen. And this car, being a 1NZ FE engine, has very good reliability when it comes to the engine. It doesn't require a lot of maintenance and a lot of things like the German machines that we all know that are sensitive. So with that being said, let's go and look at the interior of the Toyota Auris. We're in the interior of the 2015 Toyota Auris, and the first feeling that I get when I enter this car is it gives me Harrier vibes. I feel like I'm inside a small Toyota Harrier. I don't know if you can relate with that. It's like a compact Toyota Harrier. This car has been built looking good, and if you ask me, this car will be above the Toyota Vitz but below the Toyota Fielder. So when you enter this car, the first thing that you get is the view up front, and the view up front is very good. I have to commend Toyota for that. They really put the view into consideration as they are building their cars. So when I touch the dashboard over here, the dashboard feels squeegee, but it's not leather. And when I touch the steering wheel right here, the steering wheel is leather and it has white stitching all around, and it also has buttons over here to configure the volumes, to configure the speech recognition of this car, to configure the lane departure assist, to configure the screen that is just in the middle of the gauge clusters over here. And there is two gauge clusters. The first gauge clusters is the RPM gauge that runs all the way to 8, and there is the speedometer cluster that runs all the way to 180 kilometers per hour. The Lexus ran up to 260 kilometers per hour, which is a performance car. So apart from that, we get these dials for the indicator and for the wipers. If you're coming from a German car to a Toyota, you'll have to notice that these dials over here are on the opposite sides. The indicators are on the right as opposed to the Germans, which are on the left, but the wipers and the cleaning stuff is on the left. So apart from that, from this side over here, you find that there is this is not leather, this is fabric, and it has a nice plastic pad that runs all the way down, and there is the buttons to control the windows, the mirrors and the windows. And also these mirrors of this car, the windows are all auto, and it has a cup holder at the door here. And this car has a keyless entry, meaning that the engine is auto. You just start it with a button. And apart from that, when you get onto the middle center console panel over here, you get vents on the top here, and you get this big infotainment screen that has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So we have the clock on the right side here, but this screen was aftermarket. The owner had to install it after purchasing this car, which is a good addition. That means that this car has a very good sound system. We have tweeters over here and on the other side, and also at the back. And when you go down here, you get the buttons for the climate control. If you realize, for the Lexus that we have just done, the panel was kind of raised, but for this one is like facing you, so it's still good, it's practical. And the gear selection gauge is on the bottom here. So the gear selection gauge, this car is a 4-speed automatic, so it has PR and D, and you can put it to act as if it's a manual. But that essence, because this car is a CVT, when you put it to manual mode, it just plays with the RPM. It does not turn it into a manual. So if you're a car enthusiast, I know you'll understand that. When I go onto this side of the car, I get the glove compartment, which is surprisingly big. It also has a USB port there where you can plug in your USB and play music. So apart from that, the handbrake is a traditional handbrake. The seats are fabric seats. There are cup holders here and here, and there are also some storage space that you can put additional stuff inside the car. So with that being said, we also have lights at the top here, and we have this part that you can store your glasses when you're going for a road trip and all that. We have these mirrors, and the rear view mirror of this car is really good. The view is really good. I will commend Toyota for that. So with that being said, let's go and look at the passenger's experience at the back of the car. I'm in the rear passenger side of the Toyota Auris, and the first thing that I want to know when I get into this car is the essence of space. Headroom is good, legroom is good, but not so good. If somebody is above my height, I'm around 6 foot tall, so if somebody is around my height, they will have to struggle with space. This seat will have to be pushed in front, and apart from that, this panel over here, the door is entirely plastic, but there is this soft touching pad over here, and there is this leather pad. I must say that Toyota has done a really good job on this car, meaning that this car was built to be an economical car, but they also added a touch of luxury and refinement onto it. There is this part over here to hold, and there is not much going on here. There is cup holders at the door here, speakers, normal things that you get. There is lights here that you can turn on or off depending on how you want them. This car does not have climate control at the back here, so that's a downside for this car. But apart from that, this car is a good car that you can use for daily activities. You can use it as your daily driver, and this is how the key of the Toyota Auris looks like. So with that being said, let's take it for a short drive and see the experience of this car. So we are in the Toyota Auris for the drive, and as I'm driving this car has been built really well, considering that this is a car that is an economical car. It's not built for the top class, but it has really been built well. You see the digital gauges and all the technology that is in this car. And first of all, the other thing that I want to note is that this car is quiet. It has a quiet ride, and the suspension is good. The body roll of this car, it doesn't have so much body roll as we go about turns. So if you want to buy this car, you're looking for a daily driver that can take you to work every day without a problem, a car that is reliable, a car that will not keep you visiting the mechanic, a car that will not make you a mechanic's friend. This is the perfect car to go for because it is a hatchback, and it also has the touch of luxury and the touch of styling to it. It has a very good design. So if you want this car, you go to AutoCAD Motors in Runda, and they will give you a very good deal of this car, and they will even offer you a test drive so that you can also have the experience that I'm having right now. And as you test drive this car, you'll bear the testimony that this car is a good car. It is a car that will give you value for money. Even if you come to selling it back, you will sell it for good money. It is a Toyota, and it holds its value very well. So that has been it for the daily drive today, and these cars that we've gotten today is courtesy of AutoCAD in Runda. If you want to check those cars out, come to AutoCAD in Runda, and you will get a chance to interact with those cars, and you'll get a chance to also get a test drive and negotiate the prices of those cars. Those cars are on sale. And so if you like those videos, if you want to rewatch the videos, you can go to our social medias, our YouTube at Lookup TV, and also our X account at Lookup TV, our Instagram at Lookup TV, all the social media platforms at Lookup TV. So if you find these interesting, we'll come back next week with another thrilling episode of 2 other cars that we are going to review. So that's it for today. See you guys next time.